Hello everybody and welcome back to PeterVill Farm. So the mod contest mods have now been released, so you can now browse them, download them and of course rate them. Most importantly, rate them once you've used them. So I'm going to be actually covering 3 of the different mods today in this video. I'm going to try and cover as many as possible over the course of the voting period, but I am hopefully going to be able to choose my favourites as well within that time and let you know what my favourites are. And of course it's not going to be just because I personally like a particular modder. I'm going to vote and tell you which mod is my favourite because of that particular mod. So anyway, we're going to start off today. We have the third person mod, and you can actually invert this camera by pressing or holding the right mouse button so you can see the player's face. It's a nice idea. I do like this idea. There's been many occasions where I've wanted to do this, particularly for a screenshot, for doing a thumbnail. It is just a feature which really should have been in the base game anyway, but thank you so much to Viper GTS 96. A very, very good idea, and it is a very nice addition to the game. So I personally would give this a very high score. I believe that despite it being simple, it is something which is definitely worth having. So yeah, that was the first one I wanted to look at, and it's going to be used many times in my videos, especially for producing thumbnails. So yeah, like I say, thank you to the creator of that. Now of course you know where we've got to in this series. We do have a number of different things going on. We have the Manitou, we have the Ford, we have the John Deere 9630, which is definitely going to be hanging around for a while, a very nice tractor. We also have the Massey Ferguson skid steer, the 711, and we now have some new additions. Now the Irrigator is actually owned by me, I have bought that, but the tractor is currently on lease. There's only one reason for it being on lease, and that is purely because I already have a Ford tractor. However, my intention would be to actually replace the other Ford with this Ford in the future. So I think I'm going to actually cover the Ford tractor first. Both of these are in the mod contest, so that is the reason why I'm going to be trying them out today. But this one here, the 6810, is by Matt XJS. Now Matt XJS is actually the creator of the Modern Classics DLC for Farming Simulator 17, a very good DLC. In fact, I still use it very often for the Survival Roleplay series. So yeah, some really high quality machines within that pack. Definitely worth getting as well. If you still play FS19, still worth getting, despite 19 being the latest game. So this is quoted from the description. The Ford 6810 is a small tractor manufactured between 1988 and 1991 in the Generation 3 of Ford 10 series only. So this is the first time I have actually managed to look at it in game. I've literally just downloaded all of these. However, I have looked into how to operate the Irrigator. So in a minute or two when we do get onto that, I will be able to hopefully do it fairly smoothly, but it will still be a bit of a learning curve. So before I jump into the cab, I'm just going to show you the external detail, and actually very highly detailed indeed. I would say about the same quality as the Modern Classics DLC, which was of very high quality. So yeah, definitely nothing to complain about here, all very good, and in fact very well detailed. I'm impressed, very good indeed. So external is well, spot on. I couldn't argue with anything here. Obviously you can see the decals are very high quality, attention to detail is great, so yeah, very good work, very good indeed. So let's jump into the cab, and this would appear to be very good as well. I guess those decals are a little bit out of focus, but otherwise, yeah, that is just a very minor technicality, and it wouldn't really be too fair to make that a complaint about it. They're a little bit hazy, but otherwise absolutely perfect. So yeah, I'm just going to obviously give it a really quick drive. Let's just see what the indicators do. I think they're supposed to illuminate on the dashboard, but they don't appear to. But we can see the speed, and I think the engine RPM as well. That is shown on the dashboard. As for other things, I think, yeah, battery, is that fuel, engine temperature, and also the oil pressure. I think they are just, you know, just like a screenshot photograph. Don't think they're dynamic. So yeah, it is good. It's not perfect, inside. I would say it's perfect outside. The inside is lacking a little bit, but yeah, definitely still of very high quality overall. So definitely, yeah, it sounds good, it looks good, it's very well modelled. It is. If you were going to fault it on something, it would be something incredibly minor. So it would be harsh to fault it. So I would say 98% perfect. Very good indeed. Okay, so I've just hitched onto the irrigator, as you can see, and I haven't purchased this tractor outright. It is still £38,000, I believe. So let me just show you this in store. Yeah, so £38,000. You can actually do a bit of configuring. You can stick a beacon on it, which adds £100, and you can also put the 420 kilogram weight on it. That at the moment is all you can do, but at least you can put that customization on the front, because having the extra weight is actually quite important for various different jobs. So yeah, you can do those two things if you'd like to, pushing the total cost to £38,700. But yeah, I've only paid £1,943 because I have actually just gone for the beacon, and I have obviously leased it. So we come on to the irrigator. Right, okay, so this is by JD Power and also Coffee. Hopefully I have pronounced those names correctly. Very important for me to credit the correct people, so I apologise to either of you two if that is pronounced wrong. But yeah, of course, it's an irrigator system. This is an irrigation system for the land. It's a great addition because it's actually something which was in FS19, not the same irrigator, this is new. It was an Era France, I think it's called, for 15. It was also converted to 17, but I never got it to work. This is all new, so I'm not even going to try and relate it to the one from the previous version because it is all new, and it is a new mod in itself. So of course this is the hose reel just here. We then have the irrigating nozzle, and also we have the diesel. This is the diesel powered generator, which will of course actually run the entire system. Now when we've got it taken over to the field, what we're going to have to do is of course unravel the hose. Okay, so here we are at the field, and what I've done is I have actually brought across the diesel generator pump as well, so I can just do this all in one go. At least that is the plan. So before we do set anything up, I just want to really quickly show you in the store what these two machines actually look like. So if we just go into the correct area, which is crop protection, you can see we have the £17,300 SR range EMP01 IC OSR, which is, to put it simply, the diesel engine generator pump. You can choose a different colour. You can have the green, the blue, or the grey black there. You also have the rim colour, which you can choose two from, and we also have the wheel brand. Now from the Trelleborg brand you can have the AW305, the SK800, and we then have the lizard. So it's up to you which one we go for. I quite like the lizard one actually, it does look quite good, but it really doesn't make a massive difference I don't think. The R4s there do look pretty decent. So that is the Euro machine diesel generator pump. We then have the Rainstar, which is the reel, the hose reel, and it does have the irrigating nozzle on the back as well. So the wheels you can have Lizard, Trelleborg, or Mitas, or Mitas. They're your options, and rim colour, of course, you do have the option of two different colours if you'd like to use them. So yeah, let's get straight into the setting up. Now this kind of acts like a conveyor belt. You can get inside it and you can move it around, as you can see. So that, I think, is just so you can manoeuvre it in tight places. It's a very good idea. So to begin with, I'm just going to put it out of the way, because what I need to do is jump into the Massey Ferguson tractor, and I'm actually going to use the left mouse button to rotate the main chassis. It wants to be roughly in line, so that should be fine, just there. And I'm not going to unfold it just yet, but I'm going to in a minute. The next thing I need to do is to get this roughly at the correct angle. So I'd say it needs to be roughly the diagonal to that, and when you've got it in the correct place, it is going to pop up with a notification which is going to let you know that you can just very simply press Q and it will be able to connect. So about there. It's not going to do it because it's not unfolded, but it will do once it is unfolded. Then I can jump into the forward tractor, or whichever tractor you desire, and once I have pressed X to unfold that, I'll be able to pull this down the field up to 220 meters. Now this field is around 250 meters, so it's not going to reach the end, but it is going to get most of the way. So if I press X, it's going to put what I'm going to call the stabilizers down. Then this will lower, the nozzle will lower, and I can then pull it down the field. And I'm going to use the tractor. So it is going to be able to connect to that in a second. Now the one thing you will find here is if you have any other machine connected to the main hose, you're not going to be able to pull it down the field. So if you've got the tractor attached to it, the Massey Ferguson in this case, you won't be able to attach it here. And if you've got the generator pump attached, you won't be able to attach it here either. So that is all ready to go. Now you don't want to go too fast because you might find that you pull the whole thing with you. I'm probably going to go way faster than you should do because I'm just trying to do this really quickly. But yeah, I would say you want to be around 5 miles per hour. I'm doing this at 15, so ridiculously fast. Now the good thing is it's going to tell you how much hose you have left. So far we're at 150 meters, so I can't go all the way, which don't have enough hose. But you also have the pressure and the working radius, which is 55 meters, which is a fairly substantial amount. Okay, so now we're back in the Massey Ferguson tractor. You can actually adjust the working radius. I'm going to probably increase this to a fairly high figure. As we increase it, the pressure will increase as well, as you would expect. So 87 meters, which is 9.1 bar of pressure to get it to that. So I think that is going to be almost ready to go. Now, as I say, I'm going to keep repeating myself, but this is the first time I've ever used this, so it's not necessarily the perfect way of setting it up. It is just a way that I have found to do it, and really, to me, if it works, then that's everything. So what's left to do now is to put this back into work mode and then press Q, and that's going to connect a hose from the pump to the reel, and also it's taking the water out of a borehole or wherever. So that is, I think, pretty much everything. And well, as you can see, I have a pretty good working width on that. Might have been a bit too high, I think. But that is working. That is definitely working. That is panning across and is covering this field in water. And yes, it is a very high pressure. It's also a ridiculously wide working width that I've gone for. So I can reduce it. I think I probably will reduce it because it doesn't need to be quite so high. So using the hashtag, we can reduce that. From here you can't actually see it spraying. Oh, there is a very slight, that might be the exhaust, but yeah, there is a slight haze. So if I put that all the way down to 55, then you might see it's not going quite as far. But yeah, that is definitely watering the field. So this wants to return at a fairly steady pace. It needs to gradually work its way up the field. And as you can see, it is gradually reeling it in, and it's going to be getting further up the field. And to get it to roll up on its own, what you have to do is press N. That will automatically allow it to roll up. So that is just a very brief overview of the Irrigator mod in the mod contest. I must just say that I am not the creator of the mod. I am very appreciative of the person who did create it though. And also, of course, yeah, this is not an official video by them. I am just making this video to try and demonstrate it working. I might have done a bad job at demonstrating it. I might have done a good job. Not too sure. Let me know. But yeah. We are now irrigating the field. And it's doing a good job, in my opinion. As you can see, it is actually applying the fertilizer, and as it pans around, it is going to put the fan pattern in, and it'll change colour. So now that I've waited, if we very quickly look at the minimap, you should see it update. And there has now been an increased area of coverage. So once the whole field is done, obviously it's going to work really well. But it is quite a slow process, because you do have to allow it to cover the whole field. Anyway, there we go. Thank you so much for watching. The download link is below, and until next time, see you again soon. Bye for now.